Being the most interesting woman in the room isn't about being the loudest, the flashiest, or even the best looking woman. I have analyzed a lot of situations from a lot of events and places that I have been to, and I have a little summary of all the points that I have observed that will make you the most interesting woman in the room. This video will be full with tips and practical advice, as well as some stories from my life. So stay until the end and we will start with number 1. Tip number 1. Wear a signature accessory. Some time ago I went to a New Year's reception. So it was actually a rather formal event with a concert and everything. So people were dressed a little bit more formal. There was one woman that caught my eye immediately, and I think that everybody was looking at her because she was wearing a fascinator. And she was the only woman wearing a fascinator. Now, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw her was that she is a little bit out of place or maybe exaggerated, because nobody was wearing a fascinator at that event. Although, if I thought about it, it was absolutely okay, because the formality or the festive reason would justify such an accessory. And also she was wearing a black gown, like a long dress. I also was wearing a long dress. But I mean, we are in Germany, or at least I live in Germany, so people are rather underdressed most of the times, especially women. Women are not really that flamboyant, but there are always some individuals, of course, who are a little bit more feminine, elegant, or even flamboyant. So I saw that woman, and then later I didn't pay attention. I thought maybe she's coming from an opera or something like that. Then at another event, a little bit later, and that was a much more smaller and more intimate one, I saw this woman again. And again, she was wearing a fascinator, but this time it was like a little bit smaller, a little bit different. I thought, okay, but now this is not really that formal, so she's not wearing that because of the formality. And I was already thinking, okay, it must be some kind of a signature look for her. And she was very confident. And at that moment I was standing at a table with a few business gentlemen. And those men next to me, they of course noticed her. Or they talked to each other and they said, and also to me, and said like, oh, this is called a fascinator, right? And I said, yes, right, that's a fascinator. And they were like, interested in her, but not in a negative way. They were not laughing about her, they were not gossiping. No, they were just genuinely interested. And she was simply so visible because of that. And later on, I had a conversation with her, and she was really a fun person, a very nice lady. And we exchanged some contacts. And then I saw her LinkedIn profile, and again, on her picture, she was sitting in a big office wearing a fascinator. And then I knew, okay, that's her signature accessory. And what I wanted to tell you with this story is not that you have to wear a fascinator now or be extremely flamboyant, but that an accessory can really make you stand out. You can choose something more simple, something that fits your personality. For example, you might wear a vintage headband in different colors or in different ways, like I'm wearing today. Something like that could also become your signature accessory. I actually have several of those headbands. I will show you those. Or it can be also something more decent, something smaller, like a smaller, elegant accessory for your hair. It can also be, for example, a very colorful or special artsy bracelet, if you are an art person, that will stand out and that will also be a conversation starter. The key is to let this accessory become part of your personal style. Think about Iris Apfel's signature glasses. Glasses are also perfect signature accessory. When you are wearing glasses anyway, wear something, not something like invisible, mainstream, but something elegant, bold, that fits you, if it fits your style, of course. Or Audrey Hepburn with her pearl accessories. She was also standing out in her own way. Those accessories will make you unforgettable. They will be a perfect conversation starters for people who want to get to know you, especially gentlemen. You will be more visible among all the other ladies, especially when you are the only one who is wearing that. You will be very interesting because people, you see that example from my story, people will think about you, will ask themselves, who is that? Why is she wearing that? What does it mean? Is there something behind that? You know? I think you get my point. And one practical tip here for that first point would be to simply look for an accessory that you love and wear often. You don't have to wear it all the time. I admit that was a very long first point, but that was because I wanted to tell you the story and I find it so important. Really, I learned so much in my life so far from those social gatherings that I want to share it with you and tell you what works, what really works. Tip number 2, stand tall with grace. And this is one of my signature topics on this channel. It is about posture, because good posture commands attention and it communicates confidence. Imagine you are a ballerina. Walk with your chest open, with your head like slightly elevated, your chin also a little bit up. And if you're standing like that at a party, and also shift your weight evenly, avoid crossing your arms, stand in a very elegant and graceful way, you will stand out. The same way that this lady with the fascinator stood out in a fashion sense, you will stand out in a poised elegance sense. Because most of us, and me included, when we don't pay attention or we don't think, we usually don't stand in an elevated way, unless you're really a ballerina or a dancer, a professional dancer, and it's so strongly in you to have this straight back, to have this elevated, graceful posture, then you might always stand like this. But for most of us, this doesn't apply. For most of us, we usually forget, we collapse, we round our backs, we slouch. And that's why my practical tip would be, even set reminders on your phone during the day, but think about your posture and correct it multiple times a day. You can also practice by balancing a book on your head. That's a very vintage exercise, but it is still very effective and very useful to practice this elevated ballerina stance. And if you stand like this among many people, among a group of people, you will also stand out in a positive way and might even become the most interesting woman in the room. Let's move on to point number 3. Tip number 3, light up the room with your smile. A genuine smile can break the ice and it can make you instantly approachable. For example, if you're meeting someone new, pair your smile with a nice to meet you, or another greeting. Also smile while you speak or tell stories, and others will perceive you as very sympathetic and very interesting. Now, of course, it depends on the culture, on even the country, how much people are smiling. Also on the occasion. You shouldn't smile at a sad occasion. That's obvious. But what I mean here is, when you can smile, choose to smile. Because even me, I know some of you commented on a few of my videos. I had some videos where I wasn't smiling that much. And I think someone commented on it, that it's so beautiful when I smile, or when I smile more, and when I'm telling you something. And yes, that's true. See, you find me more sympathetic, you find my videos more nice to watch at when I'm smiling at you while I'm talking. And I will think about that more often now, but sometimes I'm very focused and I'm thinking about what I want to explain to you, and then I forget to smile. Sorry about that. But the same happens when you speak to other people in real life. When you have a slight smile, or when you smile while you talk to them, it is always a much better. It makes a better impression. It makes you more interesting. So my practical tip for this point here would be that if you are not used to smile, practice it in a mirror. That's totally okay. Get familiar with the way you look while you smile if you are shy about that. I mean, many women are doing that and many actresses are doing that. Even Marilyn Monroe did this practice with the mirror, and there's nothing wrong about that. Try to smile in a natural way, softening your eyes until you feel authentic, because it has to be, of course, an authentic smile. Otherwise, the effect is like the other way around, negative. Tip number 4, speak with intention. Interesting women don't dominate a conversation, they enrich it. Prepare some good go-to topics or even anecdotes. Like the one that I told you in the beginning. I mean, it doesn't fit like a normal situation, but just as an example, some little story or simply some things that you know about or that you are interested in, some facts. Something that showcases your passions even. For example, if you are traveling a lot, share a funny story from your trips. And before you go to an event, prepare 2 or 3 of those topics that you have, so that when you come into the situation and you don't know what to say, you can use those 2 or 3 things from your repertoire. Those can also be things that you are excited to discuss, or maybe a book that you are reading, or maybe just a simple interesting article that you came across. So those were some practical examples that you can choose from, but it is always smart to have a few examples of your own, and they can be also from different areas that are great conversation starters or things that will keep a conversation going and that will share a little bit about you and make you the most interesting woman in the room. Tip number 5, dress to express. Your clothes tell a story about who you are. Just remember my fascinator story with the woman. I mean, here it's more about the clothes that you are wearing, not so much about the accessories. If you are bold and creative person, try to wear interesting patterns or maybe an asymmetrical dress, but something that reflects your unique personality as a woman. If you prefer a more classic look and you are a little bit more traditional, a little black dress maybe with a eye-catching accessory like Audrey Hepburn can also make a statement. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and whatever fits you and your personality can be right. But most important is that you don't become one with this gray mouses, let's say. And yes, sometimes it fits the occasion, but even at a business event or networking event, you don't have to wear a black blazer or a gray dress. You can wear a bright red blazer or a pink one or whatever fits your personality. On a party, you don't have to wear a black dress unless that's your style. You can wear something different that still fits the occasion, that is from your color palette that really makes you shine. And whatever you choose something that you feel comfortable in, that you can also move in freely, and you will stand out in a positive way. Again, you will be more interesting. If you don't want to be seen, okay, wear what everyone else wears. Wear your grey mouse outfit. If you want to be the interesting woman in the room, and now you have a repertoire of points you can choose from, and you have the choice with the outfit, choose something else. My practical tip here would be to choose one hero in your outfit. With that I mean, it can be a statement necklace. For example, in the example of the black dress. So you have a little black dress, but you have a statement necklace that you are wearing with that dress will make this look instantly more interesting. It can also be a striking pair of shoes or a vibrant coat. So here it's not so much about a signature accessory, but about an outfit that will stand out. Tip number 6, make eye contact. When you're in a conversation, focus on the person in front of you as though that's the most important person in the room. That means avoid looking at your phone while this person is talking to you. Avoid scanning the room for who is coming, who's there, what dress is this woman wearing. Just concentrate on the person that you are in a conversation with. I always do that. I have to say that when I'm listening to someone and someone is talking to me, I totally forget about everything around me. I don't realize who's coming, who's going, and sometimes this is a disadvantage because actually I would like to have a little bit more control about my surroundings in that moment, but I kind of have this way, I don't know why, that when I talk to someone and this person talks to me, I'm listening to them, I blend out everything else. And I know that this makes people feel actually very good. They feel heard and they feel important because you give them your whole attention. It also has to do with politeness, not looking at your phone, not looking around while someone else is talking to you. And if you maintain eye contact while doing that, which is something that you don't have to do all the time, but at least when someone is, for example, sharing a personal story and then you maintain the eye contact and not occasionally, that shows that you are very engaged. My practical tip is, if this is difficult for you, and eye contact was super difficult for me, start with practicing holding the eye contact just a little bit longer that feels comfortable for you, or that feels natural, let's say. It's a small but powerful way to show confidence. And it's like a little training for you. Pair it with a slight smile to avoid looking too intense or too strict. A smile will always soften the eye contact. Tip number 7. Walk with purpose. Another signature topic on my channel, walking. The way you walk into a room, or in general, communicates. It communicates self-assurance, poise, confidence, elegance. Picture someone striding confidently into the room, making it very clear that they belong there. With regard to that, I have another story for you. A few months ago, I went with a friend of mine to a very, very fancy hotel. It's actually the most known and fanciest hotel in Berlin, in the city where I live, and they have like a lounge cafe. So it's a very, very beautiful lounge area where you can drink coffee, eat cake, etc. This is very popular, and sometimes also tourists are going there. Now, the hotel, when you enter, has those gentlemen standing outside, the employees from the hotel. I went there, and I have already been to that hotel, and I also know this lounge, and I've been to many beautiful hotels. I love beautiful hotels. So I simply, because I was excited, went inside straight away in my confident way. I was also dressed elegantly, and my friend came with me, a little bit like more hesitant, and the gentleman greeted me, they opened the door, etc. And then we were inside, and my friend said, yeah, but wasn't there a sign outside that it's full and that only people who are from the hotel, or like guests, hotel guests living at the hotel right now, can enter? And I said, oh, I didn't see that sign actually. And well, apparently it turned out that the cafe was really totally full. There were even people waiting. So they put a sign outside that no more people from outside enter, unless they are hotel guests who are sleeping there. I didn't see that, and I just went in as if I belong. Apparently, the gentleman thought we are from the hotel, we are hotel guests. And we waited a little bit and we got our table and we had our cake and everything was okay, it was no problem at all. But anyway, what I wanted to say, or why I'm telling you the story, is in that moment, I was that confident in my walk, in my posture, that because I didn't see any hindrance. If I knew that there is a sign that apparently it's full, we will probably don't get a table, etc., maybe I would have shown more insecurity, more hesitance in my walk, in my posture, and maybe it wouldn't have worked out. To sum it up, it is very, very important how you walk. Always keep your head up, your arms relaxed by your sides, walking with measured, steady steps. Avoid shuffling or hesitating, especially when you're walking into an unknown environment or a very luxurious place where you don't know the people yet and you want to make a great impression and you want people to perceive you as the most interesting woman in the room. Walk as if you belong. Practice that, of course. Walking in front of a mirror, record yourself, ask your friends when you meet them somewhere, ask them, how did I walk in into this restaurant? How was my posture? How did you perceive me? How did people react? Really analyze yourself. And I have a lot of videos on that topic, walking, like how you enter a room, how you stand, how you sit, and how you sway your hips even. That playlist is called Walk Like a Lady, and I will link it down below so that you can watch it for more info and more tutorials. But yes, that's an important tip and it works. Tip number 8, show genuine interest. Being curious about others makes you infinitely more interesting. For example, if someone mentions their hobby or their career, ask them follow-up questions. Ask them what they enjoy most about it. If someone says they like golf, for example, you can ask them, oh, how did that start? How long have you been doing that? What do you love about it? It is always good to ask people about their passions. They will always love talking about it. People love talking about themselves in general, and they enjoy if someone is interested in them. So my actionable tip here would be to challenge yourself a little bit if you are meeting new people or if you are in conversations, and challenge yourself to learn 3 new things about each person. This mindset will really keep you engaged and will keep the conversation more enjoyable. And you will automatically, for that person, become the most interesting woman in the room. Tip number 9, have a signature scent. Also one of my favorite topics on this channel. That is something you can do so easily. It doesn't require a lot, but a signature scent can make you very memorable in a subtle but very powerful way, because many people are nose persons like myself and connect emotions, events, persons, impressions with scents. So you can make use of that and simply choose a fragrance for yourself that aligns with your personality. For example, when you're a very romantic woman, you can choose some floral fragrance, or if you're rather sensual or bold, you can choose a woody or spicy fragrance, or something very luxurious, unique and niche fragrance that will also be something that not everybody has. And apply that signature fragrance when you go to an event or make it your signature. The important thing here is, and some etiquette experts might disagree with me on that, but as I said, I'm a nose person, I'm a perfume lover, and I don't think that you should put on your perfume little bits like this so that only people who are 5 centimeters in front of you can smell it lightly. That doesn't make sense for me. I love perfumes and I know many people who love that. And what I love is when someone enters a room or leaves a room or passes by, that I smell that a wonderful scent fills the air. And of course it must be a good scent. I'm not talking about something totally overpowering. So it's not enough to just spray once or twice. You have to spray a little bit more. It depends on the scent, but experiment a little bit. When people compliment you, you will know that it works. If you don't have a signature perfume yet, or if you love just so many perfumes, I would recommend you to simply choose one that you decide to make your go-to scent when you're going out or for special occasions, so that you really have something that people will connect with you. So if you liked those tips from my personal experiences and my analysis, I would be very happy if you give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. You see that being the most interesting woman in the room, you can do that by many things, and it doesn't require you to be perfect or to look like a supermodel. There are so many aspects that you can work on and become that woman. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye bye.